This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Good morning. My name is Michael Ryan, and you are listening to Volusia Today, the radio show for Volusia County. I am joined today by my co-host, David. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. How are you doing?
Good. Had a good Thanksgiving. Just back at it, you know.
Back at it after your daughter's birthday yesterday.
Yeah, that was amazing. She just turned 8, so it's still that age where she's full of excitement and joy all the time.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to see.
Well, enjoy it. You got about 3 years until that changes.
Well, I'm not looking for. I hear stories.
Yeah, I got a house full of teenagers and a house full of stories when you're ready. Well, Dave, we're joined today by some special guests from Volusia County Economic Development. Is that the title of the department?
Yeah.
And before we kick over to you guys, Dave, is there anything we need to talk about news-wise for Volusia County?
I mean, there's all sorts of things going on, but I just stick to the beach. I'm the east side guy, I guess you could say. The good news is for the beach this weekend is we're looking at like 85-degree weather on Saturday.
Nice.
Where else in the country can you get that? In December 1st. The waves are looking small, so that's good. But still swim in front of a staff lifeguard tower. You know, they're there to keep you safe and keep your family safe and protected. So if you're visiting the beach this weekend, swim in front of a staff lifeguard tower and download the Volusia Beaches app for beach access. We still got kind of higher tides and there could be some closures on the beach, so just download the Volusia Beaches app if you're headed to the beach.
See how good he is on the radio? That's amazing, isn't it?
I don't know about all that.
That's actually all the news we have for today, so we're going to kick over straight to economic development. Nice job, Dave. Well, we're joined today by Katrina Friel.
Yes, that's correct.
And Cyrus, I'm going to mess up your last name too. Cyrus?
Callum,
that's what I thought. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing well,
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Doing good.
So I know you guys want to talk a little bit about a lot probably about economic development today, and a brand new app that we have that we're very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to that, I'd like to dig into just you guys for a little bit, what you do, what the department does. So let's talk about economic development for a while.
Economic development. I'm glad that we have the opportunity to talk about that today. I think it's important. It's an important topic of conversation because a lot of citizens aren't aware of economic development and what it means, what it does. However, they are participant in it every single day through consumerism, tax dollars, etc. So, what economic development is, if you were going to define it, I would say it was the sustained, concise actions of policymakers and communities to foster economic wellness and quality of life. And that is a definition that you're probably scratching your head saying, okay, well, what's that really mean? Well, economic development, it would be easier to say what economic development isn't than what economic development is, because economic development is everything. It's more than the gross domestic product. When economic developers have to do their job, there are so many key indicators that we need to be involved in, to include land development, zoning, workforce, education, legislature, and it goes on. And we have to keep our pulse on all of this. We have to know what funding resources are out there, how we can advise small businesses, how we can work with incoming businesses. It is just such a very complex ecosystem that involves partners all over the place. There are so many business support partners out there that we work with, and it's just it's exciting. It's exciting. It's constantly changing. I am learning something new every day. I don't know everything, so having those partner resources is very important.
Katrina, tell us, and I've been around economic development off and on. I've never heard that definition before. That was pretty all-inclusive. I want to get back into it in a second. Tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been with Volusia County? Where were you before?
So I've been with Volusia County a little over 3 years as an economic developer. Prior to that, I was up in Flagler County as an economic developer. I kind of worked my way up the ranks. My career in government is about 23 years. I started out with the city of Palm Coast when it very first became incorporated, so I got to see a small government being built from the ground up. And I'll tell you, all of my skill set from from economic development to I've also been a website development company business owner. I've been a real estate agent. I was a soldier. I was active duty Army. All of these different skills, and I worked in land development in the city of Palm Coast. It all just kind of came together to economic development because, like I was saying, you have to have your fingers on every single pulse, and it is so diverse. And I had such a scattered skill set that when the job in Flagler County opened up for economic development, the assistant manager in the department that I was in at that time, which was General Services, which was 5 divisions underneath that department, came to me and said, this job was written for you. And I said, what the heck is economic development?
Yeah.
So I learned how to define it.
So help me understand why Dave, who's just, his daughter had a birthday yesterday. He's a homeowner. He's a taxpayer. He has you have a wife still?
Yes.
He has a wife.
Still happily married.
And another baby on the way. So Dave is an average citizen, taxpayer. Why does he care about economic development?
So the reason why he cares about economic development is because of what I said in that definition. Quality of life is key. When you start to attract quality businesses and you help your local businesses grow, what you are doing is you are creating jobs that are going to give the citizens of Volusia County an opportunity to be in control of their own destiny. When you provide jobs for people, it's not just their ability to sustain a lifestyle, it's their ability to contribute back into the community. And with that being said, when we start to develop wealth, we start to improve our quality of life, which starts to go towards parks and resources and culture. So, it is important. Plus, infrastructure. We want our roads to be drivable. We don't want to be stuck in traffic all the time. That is all part of economic development, too, and that is going to impact the citizens directly. That's why we do it.
So, great answer. I think it's a lot of people don't make the direct connection between economic development and bringing in new businesses. We hear about jobs and all that stuff, but there truly is a correlation between that and the park down the street from my house.
Of course.
And how much I heard Dave with his new child, how he's going to enjoy that park down the street, or the road that's being repaired, or whatever, or the services. I just moved from a town, St. Augustine, where there were not a lot of choices for shopping and dining and stuff unless you went downtown. So I love being here where just that opportunity to go buy stuff and close to my house is nice.
Yeah, that is also part of economic development too, because you want to look at density and you want to look at where is the best place to put a business that it's not going to impact the residents in a negative way as well. So that conscientious development is important. And I just want to point out, economic development isn't just attracting new businesses. Our small businesses and our local businesses that are already here, they need nurturing as well, too, because they are in growth mode. And when they are in growth mode, they're creating more jobs.
Yeah, that's true. Retention's just as important, right?
Absolutely.
Cyrus? Good morning. Sorry, we didn't talk to you the first 5 minutes of the show.
No. Hey, I am just fortunate and happy to have somebody like Katrina on the team, because while she says she doesn't know anything, she is so knowledgeable. I'm coming to her and I'm just soaking up information that she has like a sponge.
Absolutely. Well, tell me a little bit about your background.
All right, so it's an interesting journey that I've been on. I'm a lifetime aviator, so I came up through aviation management, and I've probably touched a variety of different airports, from Chicago O'Hare to Denver International to Jacksonville, Orlando, and then now fortunately here in Volusia County with Daytona Beach. But the department is made up of both the airport and economic development, departments, aviation and economic resources. And so I'm blessed and fortunate to be a part of that. I can't say lead because we're all a team and we kind of work together for our mission. But I go up and defend our honor and try to beg for things for the department, the council. But we're just a dynamic group and trying to make sure that we're all walking in one step. But yeah, definitely making sure the airport's getting everything that it needs, and then Katrina and her team getting everything that she needs in economic development.
Yeah, it's a question that gets asked to us a lot. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
It's a question that gets asked to me a lot. Why is your office at the airport? Well, you have to understand, when we talk about economic development being everything, an airport is a huge economic development driver, and it's also key with tourism, which diversifies the economy, generates revenue. But back in the day when my office used to do a lot of recruitment, it was beneficial to us to have our office right there before the businessmen and the business owners got on the plane.
Sure.
Or was getting off the plane, so that we could say, hey, you like to vacation here, how about bringing your business here? Ever thought about that?
That's exactly it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, opportunities, walking right down that concourse.
I tell everybody, it's like the chicken or the egg thing, right? It's like you got to have a strong airport to, be a catalyst to bring some of those businesses in, but you need a strong economy to support that strong airport.
Sure.
So having both of those together, I think the county did a great job in putting that in place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it makes a lot. And I always kind of wondered that. I was about to ask the question, so I'm glad you approached that, and that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, mind reading is one of my tricks, too.
I tell you what, let's take Cyrus's chicken and eggs and take that as an opportunity to take a break. We'll be right back.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel.
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore.
And things to learn.
With over 1,000 videos available right now, the channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
Okay, Dave, why don't you bring us back from break? How was that?
We're back. We have economic development in the studio with us today. Just as we went to break, Cyrus, you were saying some interesting facts that kind of brought it into perspective for me. When we talk about economic development and we were talking about the airport, what is the actual economic impact of the airport for Volusia County?
Right. So a lot of people don't realize we got a lot of things going on airport property. On one side of the airport is the Daytona International Speedway, and on the other side of the airport is Embry-Riddle University and a variety of our flight schools. So with all of that included, $3.2 billion of economic impact Daytona International Airport brings to the community. And so, you have the $800 million from the Speedway, you have probably 1.2 million from Embry-Riddle. All of that counts towards jobs and money that's getting further recycled back into the community. And it's just an amazing resource that us in Volusia County have with the airport being where it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. And earlier we were talking about I'm the just the average guy. I got a kid coming. What does economic development mean to me? Well, I've been lucky enough to attend the Q meetings that economic development hosts. So you want to tell us a little bit about those first off? What are the Q meetings?
So Q is code for quarterly, not such a code word, but what we do is every quarter, we go ahead and we present the quarterly statistics of the key economic indicators. So let's say workforce, in-migration, things of that nature that are going to be pertinent to and relative to economic development, plus important to our stakeholders in the communities, our politicians, our business owners, et cetera. So those Q breakfasts, we are able to present that data, but what we also do is we identify a kind of hot topic and we invite an outside presenter to come in and talk about that. So recently we had Jerry Parrish at the last Q breakfast, who is an economist who used to be the Florida State University, Yes,
Yeah,
Florida
yeah.
State
He was a
University.
Seminole. Yeah,
I
he
was
was a
going to
Seminole.
wait a minute. He's a Seminole, not a Gator. You don't want to mess those up in this state, let me tell you. So
No offense to the Gators.
no
but
offense
that's okay
to anybody.
too.
All right, there you go.
Or equal opportunity.
So we had him in, and he was able to talk about the recession that we were supposed to experience, and whether or not that was coming still. So it was very enlightening. And the chamber also has an economist coming, Daytona Regional Chamber, and I'm going to hear what their economists had to say, to see if their economists matched what our economists said. I think it's going to be pretty close.
And it was interesting perspective. It's high level conversation, but it's also networking and an exposure for a small business within Volusia County. And another thing is you can be there in person, right? But we also have it on the County of Volusia YouTube channel, so it's live stream, so anybody can tune in and get that information. You don't have to come in person because it is 8 a.m. on Monday or Tuesday morning?
It's always a Friday.
See?
Yeah. We like to close out the week big.
Right, quarterly.
But we also give, there's also opportunities for businesses if they want to sponsor a Q breakfast, because we feed everybody. If they want to sponsor that, they get a lot of exposure. So any business that wants to sponsor a Q breakfast can call us at 386-248-8048 or visit us at floridabusiness.org.
And it's all, so you get the numbers, you get the current state of Volusia County, which we can hit on here in a little bit, like where are we at as far as the economy goes in our local area. But then there's also resources, right? Like I feel like the Q meeting is a resource. What other resources does economic development provide to the community?
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Yeah, I just saw her light up.
So we only
She literally had to. She pushed back from the table. Did you see that? Hold on.
rolling up.
Yeah, cracking her knuckles.
So when I was saying how we have to keep our pulse on all of these different key indicators, when it comes to the resources that economic development can provide, we are kind of a masthead for all of the business support partners that are out there. We have an initiative that's called VolusiaBusinessResources.com, and if you go Volusia Business Resources, and part of that is our website, VolusiaBusinessResources.com, which is a clearinghouse for all of the partners that support businesses locally. So we are a conduit to those resources, but in-house we also provide resources to help aid the overflow. So we do business retention and expansion. We help with business recruitment, and we aid and assist our partner over at Team Volusia, who we contract with to go out past our borders to do the marketing, bring them back. We help be the liaison to utilities, find funding opportunities, sit with businesses and look and see startup businesses, entrepreneurs, small businesses in growth mode. What's your business plan look like? What funding are you looking for? Workforce. That is a huge thing. We are liaison to Career Source. We help guide people to different resources that are going to provide workforce for them, which right now is a big issue with our unemployment rate of 3.4%. Sounds very happy, and healthy that, wow, we have a really low unemployment rate. Well, the businesses aren't so happy about that, because that means that they have a lot of jobs that are still open there. So finding that workforce, we do that, and I could go on and on. Can you have me back at some point?
I was just thinking,
exactly. It goes quick.
And you just mentioned workforce and getting a job and jobs that are open and stuff, and I want to make sure we touch on that before we leave, and we only have a handful of minutes left. So would you please at some point come back, because I have a lot of questions about economic development I'd like to dig into.
I would love to come back. I am passionate about what I do. This is the job that, life kind of brings you in a direction, and when I landed in this seat, I just went, oh, wait a minute, this is where I belong.
So let's talk about workforce and Work Local. What is Work Local?
So Work Local is a new initiative. We worked with Career Source to develop this with a company. The development company is called GoGig, and this is a revolutionary way of attracting workforce or for a job seeker to find a job. So traditional job boards are very they all follow the same kind of standard. Here's your resume, here's your name, here's this person, here's the skill set, and that's it, and that's all you are judged on. Well, Work Local kind of eliminates the bias of we're humans. We have ideas about who people are by what their name is, what they look like, et cetera, et cetera. So on the front side of it, the job seeker goes in, they put their skill set, they do a writing sample. That writing sample goes through an AI analysis that tells you kind of who that person is. What you don't see is that person male or female? What's their name? So you are judging the skill set and the character of this potential employee based on all of that. What that does, and people say, well, what's the point of that? You're going to meet them at some point. We have a lot of job seekers out there that are looking to advance their careers. And if you go on a local job board, your name is going to be out there. So you're kind of not protected from doing your job search. You can find anything online that you want. And if somebody else sees that you're searching for a job, you don't want to be with that company, it could jeopardize the position you're at right now. So
yeah, Dave, you remember that? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what it does?
I love the app. I had to sign up right away.
All right, we'll talk after, and I'll help you out with that. So what it does is the job seeker goes in, they go ahead and they go through the process. Their identity is kind of protected. The employer, the business goes in, and they put in all the skill sets that they're looking for. Here is the job that I have. This is what I need. This is what the salary is. And the algorithm goes out and it finds that job seeker. Now, at that point, the job seeker, the employer, business, goes ahead and sends an email or a notification to the job seeker and says, hey, I really liked what I read here. I like your profile. Would you be interested in furthering this conversation or sending us your resume? Now, at that point, the job seeker can look at it and say, wait a minute, that's a company I already work for. I'm trying to get away from them. Or, oh, wow, wait a minute, here's an opportunity for me to have a conversation with my boss about furthering my career outside of this platform. So it works in multiple ways. Now, once the business approaches the job seeker and the job seeker says, yes, you know what, I really like what you have to offer, then they can go ahead and start talking offline, send their resume, have this conversation, which then hopefully leads to an interview, which leads to employment. But it's a completely different way of finding workers, because what we're finding now is people are getting pigeonholed into the job that they had before, and they're not having their skill set looked at by human resources departments and saying, wait a minute, this is a transferable skill into this job, and this is a transferable skill. This app, this does this. So, it's kind of, it's new. We're going to see how it goes. I really encourage people out there looking for a job to go ahead and get on worklocalJobs.com, and I encourage the businesses who are desperately searching for workers, and a lot of OJT is on the job training is going on right now, and you need the right person with the right skills and the right character to be able to take on the task of learning that new position. It's just great. So it's worklocalJobs.com. Businesses and job seekers, go there and just sign on, create your account, and try it out. Just try it out.
It's amazing that you're in a position where you were telling us your story of how you got to where you're at.
Right.
And you were talking about the skills you had and how
transferable, yeah.
Yeah, transferable, and that's that common thread, and now you're leading a program and launching an app that's the purpose of the app. So that's wild how that all kind of came together and came to fruition. It's awesome that you're leading the charge on this.
The other thing, too, is it's like we don't even know next week what jobs are going to exist and what jobs aren't going to exist. So you have to be able to not look at the job that they did before and look at those skills and say, wait a minute, this is now applicable into, information wrangler or whatever crazy job titles they're going to have in the future, because technology is moving so quickly. I think something just got released like a second ago. Oh, wait a minute, now another one did. It is that fast. So we have to be able to keep up with this transitioning workforce culture that is out there in a way that's going to translate properly to what these businesses need. And it is revolutionary. And a lot of people are saying, well, I don't get it. Well, try it.
Check it out.
Then you'll get it.
Right.
Evolve.
Yeah, exactly. You have to stay current. You have to evolve, or else you just become obsolete.
Katrina, so we only have a couple minutes left. Before we go, one, please come back, because I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface, of economic development.
No, we did not.
And there's I'd like to talk about the macro angle on that and stuff, the bigger picture
Absolutely.
stuff. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You feel we have like 2 minutes left. It feels like you have a good pulse on business and the economy and stuff. So listen, when are interest rates going down?
And insurance.
I'm trying to sell a house, man. I can't unload it.
I actually know the answer to that question.
All right, tell
eventually.
us.
Are you going to share?
Next episode.
It's a roller coaster. We enjoy the ride.
It all depends what you're looking for, because there's a lot of home builders out here that are offering some buy down rates.
Yes,
there's really solid rates that are out there, like 5.9%. I even ran into somebody doing a 3.9 buy down for a little bit.
Oh, and don't let the current interest rates stop you from buying a home, because once those interest rates do go down, you can always refi.
That's right.
Yeah. How is the economy right now locally, like in 1 minute, if you can do that, locally here in St. Johns County, or excuse me, in Volusia County? Speaking.
Tell us about it here in Volusia County.
Wait, now how do I get that job app again?
Exactly. So Volusia County is thriving. Florida is thriving. I mean, at this point, it's like we are kind of an entity unto ourselves.
Right.
Florida is such a business-friendly place, and what is happening in Florida is we have an in-migration of 1.4% annually on average, and Volusia County is outpacing that. So the more people you're attracting, the more money that's coming into the economy, we are in a good place.
I don't know that I could close your show any better than saying that. Thank you both for being here today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dave, good luck. Good luck with the new baby coming.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And the new job, no.
And thank you. Oh, we launched it, Katrina.
I can help you guys with that.
We launch Work Local next week, right? Monday?
Actually, this conversation right now is the first public mention of Work Local. But yes, we're putting out an official press release on Monday. But today is not too soon. Anybody listening, you had the inside scoop, so jump on it.
All right, go get it. Thank you both for being here.